What happens if the oceans rise by 10 meters? It's a scenario that sounds like science fiction, but it's more possible than you might think. In this video, we're diving deep into what our world would look like if sea levels rose by 10 meters, and trust me, it's not just about losing some beaches. First, let's understand the cause. A 10-meter rise in sea level would mean something massive has happened, like the total melting of the Greenland ice sheet, and significant melting from Antarctica. This isn't just climate change, it's extreme climate transformation. If that happened, we're talking about trillions of tons of ice turning into water, flooding into our oceans, and changing the face of every coastline on Earth. So, what would happen next? Let's start with geography. A 10-meter sea level rise would swallow entire regions. Major cities like New York, Miami, London, Shanghai, Mumbai, Bangkok, and Tokyo, all underwater or severely flooded. Coastal landmarks, gone. Entire countries like the Netherlands and Bangladesh would be mostly submerged. Florida, practically erased from the map. Venice, lost. Large parts of Australia's coast, China's river deltas, and the southeastern United States would all vanish beneath the waves. And it's not just cities. Farmland, airports, roads, ports, and nuclear power plants, all at risk. Now think about the people. Hundreds of millions of people live within 10 meters of current sea level. We're talking mass displacement, entire populations forced to move inland. That means global refugee crises, competition for resources, and major social and political upheaval. Countries that are already densely populated would face enormous pressure. Governments would have to redraw maps, create new cities, and somehow support millions of climate refugees. That's a level of disruption we've never seen before. Economically, the impact would be catastrophic. Coastal infrastructure is where most of the world's economic activity happens: shipping, finance, tourism, trade. Trillions of dollars in real estate and business assets would be lost. Insurance industries would collapse. Ports would be submerged, destroying supply chains. Global trade would slow down or be forced to reinvent itself. And rebuilding, that could take generations. But the problems don't stop at the coast. Rising oceans don't just swallow land, they change weather patterns, too. With that much ice melted, the planet's balance shifts. Ocean currents would slow or shift direction, disrupting global climate systems. Some regions could become colder, others unbearably hot. Rainfall patterns would change, triggering floods in some areas and droughts in others. The food supply would be hit hard. Flooded farmland, rising temperatures, and unpredictable weather would slash crop yields. Famine would become a global threat, especially in the most vulnerable regions. Then there's the saltwater. As oceans rise, saltwater seeps into freshwater aquifers, the underground water we use to drink, farm, and survive. This process, called saltwater intrusion, would poison water supplies around the world. Millions would lose access to safe drinking water. Now, let's talk about wildlife. Coastal ecosystems like mangroves, marshes, and coral reefs would be destroyed. Countless species, fish, birds, mammals, would lose their habitats. The oceans would warm even more, bleaching corals and killing off marine life. And when ecosystems collapse, food chains fall with them. Fisheries would crash, hurting not only nature but the billions of people who rely on fish as their main protein source. But it doesn't end there. Ancient cultural sites, World Heritage landmarks, and entire histories would be lost to the sea. Temples, cities, museums, graves, gone. Entire ways of life, traditions passed down for generations, would vanish with them. And mentally, emotionally, spiritually, humanity would feel that loss deeply. The psychological toll of watching your home disappear underwater is hard to imagine. Now let's talk time. A 10-meter rise wouldn't happen overnight, but it also wouldn't take forever. If global warming accelerates and feedback loops kick in, like melting permafrost releasing methane, or reduced ice cover absorbing more heat, sea level rise could speed up dramatically within this century. Some scientists warn that with unchecked emissions, we could eventually reach that 10-meter mark in the next few centuries, or even sooner if we pass critical tipping points. So is there any hope? Yes. The good news is, we still have time to act. If we cut greenhouse gas emissions, shift to renewable energy, protect forests, and invest in climate resilience, we can slow, or possibly prevent, this level of catastrophe. Coastal cities can build seawalls, improve drainage, and plan smarter, but none of that matters if the oceans keep rising. The real solution is global cooperation to stop the cause before the effect drowns us. So what happens if the oceans rise 10 meters? Coastal cities vanish. Economies collapse. Billions are displaced. Food and water security evaporate. Ecosystems are shattered. And the world we know is gone. It's not a movie. It's not a distant future. It's a warning. The oceans are already rising, just slowly. But once that rise picks up speed, we won't be able to stop it. The question is, what will we do now to prevent it? Because once the water comes, there's no turning it back. Thanks for watching. If this made you think, hit like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, what would your city look like if the oceans rose 10 meters? Stay curious. Stay informed. And stay one step ahead of what's coming.